Hello, welcome to Train Sim World 5. Today, I know it's a Friday, but I fancy going to Switzerland. For that, we're going to do a tourist run on the Bernina Express. Scenario is called Scenic Views. We're going to take passengers to the most scenic locations and allow them to take beautiful photos along the journey. Should take about just over an hour and a half. And basically, it's the only narrow gauge route on Train Sim World. It's one of the ones I got with the Steam Summer Sale. So I feel, well, why not use it as the Friday video instead of a Thomas one. Normal service will be resumed next week with the next Thomas video. But here we go. Scenic views. Welcome to Bernina. I'm not saying that first word. You're taking over a special service, stopping at the most scenic places along the way to Tirano. At each stop, your passengers will have a chance to take photos. So, I have to put that on. Reverse it to forward. Open the doors. Put the mirror out. Headlights full. Is that it? Tail lights white. Safety systems on. Cruise control 40 for this little bit. Has to go down to 30 later on. Pantograph automatic. Headlights. Making sure everything's done that I have to do. I love the windows. You can hear the sounds quite well. I can't go anywhere quite yet because there'll be a train coming in, which is why there's a red signal. Safety systems are on. Cab light, don't need. Still got a red signal. What's that one? Emergency brake. Passengers can actually see out the front as well as out the sides. This is my train. Three-car electric unit plus 3 coaches. There's the other train coming in. I can release the brake. And start creeping towards the signal. Oh, help people lock the doors. Now I've got a green signal, I can go. The train will not go faster than 40 kilometers an hour. Because that's what I got it set at. It's reset, hasn't it? Yeah, it's gone back down to 35. Come on. There we go. It will now just keep going at 40 kilometers an hour at most. We have to go to Lago Bianco viewpoint, where we have to stop. Going at 40 along here means that the passengers get a chance to look. Yes, line speed is 45. But we're not going to go up to that speed because this is a tourist train. This is Lago Bianco, White Lake, over the little crossing. I can't actually do a head out view with this train. I've already tried, it won't let me. If I do it, it goes to that screen there. Oh, it does let me. I thought it didn't. Mirror's in the way, so I'll go back to the driver view. Okay, start applying the dynamic brake. Because we have to stop where passengers can take photos. Just coast a little bit. There's the lake. And main brakes. Just got to wait a little bit while we sit on this curve with our very pretty looking train. Okay, brakes off, allowing passengers to take photos. Remember which way around to do the thing, and we can just start going about now, I think. .8 kilometres to our next stopping point. But we've got a speed limit. So, don't want the whistle, we want that down to 35. Don't want to be speeding. And we'll go down to 30 before we get to the 30 limit. It's a very windy route. There's a lot of snow because we're in the Swiss Alps. Going down to Italy. It's very steep, which is why I'm relying on the cruise control to be able to do the speed for me. I'm not too worried about timing. Green Alp. Go through this avalanche shelter. Keeping an eye on where that 30 limit is. And start slowing down to 30. I'll have to use a bit of the brake. Wheels are slipping. There's no sander. There we go, we're now down at the right speed. We're not. Have to use a bit of the brake. .4 kilometres before we stop. Oh, didn't mean to hit my microphone then. Still within avalanche shelter. Can't open the door. Oh, I can. Thought it was interlocked. Obviously not. I do like the way that you can hear the automated announcements. We've still got a kilometre to go. We do have to stop at Alpgrün. Just look at those mountains. I've got the detail settings turned down to just high rather than ultra, because when I was running Mittelwaldbahn for Wednesday's video, it was stuttering. Even on high detail, this is stunning. Have to be ready to stop once we go around this next left-hand bend, I think it is. Or a bit more. Left than a right, possibly. 30 kilometres an hour is 22 miles an hour, thereabouts. So it's not quick, but it does give you chance to look at the scenery, which you wouldn't get if it was going faster. If it was going faster, you'd be in trouble, because it's really tight bends, and it's something like a 3'6" narrow gauge line, so 1 foot 2 inches shorter than start slowing down. 1 foot 2 inches narrower than standard gauge. Just coast into the station, and we're half a minute late. Not really much worried about that. Just letting passengers take photos. This is a tourist run rather than a standard passenger run, so we won't have to stop for passengers, I don't think. And off we go. Get the speed up as we leave Alpgrün with an oil tanker. There is that... Ooh, need a bit of the regenerative braking to maintain speed. Now that is a stunning view, looking down the Alps. We came from the other side of the hills. I think I'd better close the door. I've got the windows open. We're going into another tunnel. We have to go through Stablini passing loop. I didn't notice that crossing before we got to it, so I forgot to sound the whistle. Another avalanche shelter. Just protects the track if there's an avalanche. But there are some really nice views. This is the railway with the famous spiral viaduct, which should do on this run. Into a tunnel. Next signal is green. I have to keep an eye on signals on this, because likely to pass other trains. At least I've not got a time to get to the passing loop. Still in a avalanche shelter. There's another lake. At least it's not snowing. That would make it really difficult to stop, because there's no sand on this. Parking brake. It's only for if we're stationary for any length of time. Outdoors. I'm not too worried about another crossing that I missed. Not too worried about times. Oh, we've got a red signal. That'll be at the loop. As we're staying within the speed limit, I should be able to stop before that signal. Another tunnel. I sound whistles before tunnels, just in case there's anyone at the other end of the tunnel. Warns them that there's a train coming. We are less than half a kilometre from the passing place. And that red signal is still red, which means we're going to be passing something out from the tunnel, and we are on a little ridge. This is absolutely beautiful. And yes, it's July. Time of recording, it is July. So, middle of summer. And I'm driving in the snow. I saw that crossing. Here's the passing point, which we need to stop at. Just want to make sure I don't pass the signal, which will be by where towards the end. I need to see the signal and stop before it. Because it's still red, which means there's a train coming up that I've got to stop for. Where's that signal? I'll apply the brakes. And stop until the signal goes green. Gives chance to look at the scenery, if I can. That's a steep gradient. While I'm waiting for whatever's coming up. If I zoom out a bit, I might be able to see something. Or not. Ah, there it is. Okay, go back in the cab. Let's put the mirrors in. I don't need them when I'm... There we go, I can see now. That's 1, 2, 3. Going straight up. We've got a green. Release brakes. Go back to this view. Still got dynamic brake working a bit. There's the signal. Couldn't go right up to the signal because I'd have been conflicting with the up train. Oh. This is steeper gradient. There we go. Dynamic brake helps keep it at a set speed. We don't want to be going too fast. We'll be able to go up to 45 in about 3 kilometers time, which is when I go back to that lever there, cruise control. It is useful. Inside of the cab all lit up. I can still see where I'm going. Just means that I can see the cab instead of it just being pitch black. Passengers haven't got internal lights. Can I turn them on? I don't know. Those are the doors. Can't... That's pantograph. Don't want pantograph, I'm operating on DC. There's passenger lights on. There we go. They can see in the tunnels now. I've got to stop at Poshiavo. We've got 2 kilometers and a bit before we can increase up to 45. This is the railway that a couple of years ago set a new world record for the longest train. It was over 2 miles long. I don't think that record will ever be broken. So I don't think there's any railway long enough to be able to do that. At least not comfortably. It was done to celebrate 100 and something years of this railway being open. don't know how they managed to get them all coupled up and running, especially as there were passengers in every single vehicle. Oh, that would be a nice photo going around this little bend. Over this bridge. There we go. Into another avalanche shelter. Centre pantograph is for AC. Which I'm not using. I'm using DC. One kilometre and I can start speeding up. And I've still got a green signals, which is good. You can see why this route takes so long. We're doing virtually the whole route, I think, if I press and hold that. Oh, we've got passengers to pick up at the next station. Then we go to Lago Poschiavo. Allow passengers to take photos. Brusio Viaduct, the famous viaduct. Got passengers taking photos on that, and I'm going to get some screenshots on it. Then Campok no viewpoint photos. Basilica Madonna di Tirano. Collect the signaller to allow. Contact the signaller to allow past the red signal. Tirano platform 4B. Set brake, and then basically. So we're going all the way down to Tirano, which is the bottom of the line. Right. We'll be able to start accelerating. Well, we won't. Not really. It's 45 for a brief time, so I'm not going to accelerate. I'm just going to keep going at this speed. Here's another station, and we've got green signals all the way through. Just coast for a little bit. Still going downhill, so I can coast. Speed limit is now 45. I am not going to go up to 45. Because speed limit goes back down to 30. Right. 4.3 kilometres before Poschiavo platform 1. Where we pick up some passengers. And we're about to go on a steeper gradient again. Tunnel. This is my first time doing the full length of this route. All I've done is learned how to drive Yeah, they've got the lights on, that's what matters. All I've done so far is learned how to drive the train. I'm doing that separately and not doing videos of it because it can be a bit boring. Fire extinguisher. I've got my cab lights on still. Turn them off now. We're not in a tunnel. .8 kilometres to Poshiavo. Going through some nice cuttings. This railway is a World Heritage Site. And it was built from new as an electric railway. The electric masts, or the electric wires, were a method of getting electricity from the hydroelectric schemes in the mountains down, all the way down there. Building a railway at the same time meant that the people who lived up in the mountains could get down into the valley. So why not use the electricity that was already there to power trains going up? When they're going down, the braking is actually feeding the power back into the overhead. We've got another signal coming up and it's still green. Going down a 1 in 14. This is why you can tell it was always meant to be electric, because a steam engine would not get up on 1 in 14. It is beautiful. I know I keep saying that, but it really is. I mean, those views are stunning. Even with me using lower detail settings. Gone past the signal. Ratisheban is the proper name for the Bernina Express, but in game it is the Bernina route. Oh, next signal is yellow. We have to stop the station anyway, so a yellow signal is understandable. There'll be an up train that passes us. We are going downhill all the way to the terminus. So anytime we come to a passing point and there's a train going up, we have to stop. It's more difficult to get an up train started than it is a down train. Oops, slightly tighter bend, and the views are now out on the right hand side. I'm supposed to be paying attention to the railway, not looking at the views. But those views We're heading that way eventually. But we follow the contours of the mountain. You can see the railway over the other side there. Where we go lower. Shows just how steep it is. Because it's quite a fair bit lower. The yellow signal's now on the signal display. What's on that screen? Oh, it's all in German. Those are all the different buttons, some of which I can't press. I could turn vigilance systems on if I wanted. Which means I'd have to keep pressing button. I have to keep pressing A every now and then. Oh, okay, next signal's yellow and then it's green. Okay. Oh, it's because it's speed limit. Start slowing down a bit. Oh, that's 3.7 kilometres. I don't need to worry about that just yet. I now have to keep an eye on the yellow exclamation mark. If that comes up, I've got to press A. We've still got 3 kilometres. Shows that we're actually moving away from the station as we go along this line. It should start coming down soon, because we're now heading round the little horseshoe. We were up there at one point. Not that long ago, really. There's the yellow. The yellow is because of the tight bends. Proceed as signals indicate. Still yellow. But I'll keep beeping until we get a green signal. Oh, it's gone green. Signal that was red has gone green. And that one's green. And we're now above the little village. And we're going down an even steeper bit with a nice little bridge. That is quite impressive. I just have to keep remembering I do have to press A bit more frequently when I'm doing this. Oh. Started precipitating. And we're going into a tunnel. This is a nice stone-lined tunnel. And we're now facing the other way. There's another village. It would be interesting driving the other way. Because it's basically quite a steep climb. Green signal. Ooh, a gated crossing. We're now out of the snow, so it is pure rain. I need to put the windscreen wiper a bit faster. Another viaduct. As we go further and further down. Coming up to a 25. So I want to slow it down by that before I knock it back. It's only a short bit of 25, but we don't want to be speeding. Especially if that looks like it's going to be a really tight bend. Ooh, power line. There's old railway route. Slightly tighter. And another tunnel. Which is also quite a tight corner. Still got 2.9 kilometers before we get to Posciavo. Which is before the beautiful viaduct. But that's going to be in the rain. Rather than in the sun. 2.9 kilometers will be able to go up to 55 kilometers an hour. I don't know how long for, can see that this is a 25. Once we are past here, I'll be able to push it up to 30 again. There we go. A little bit quicker. So after we get to Posciavo, we can go up to 55 kilometers an hour. Because we'll be nearly Valley Floor. Valley Floor is down there, look. I forgot about that button press. Now that we're out of the snow layer, it's completely different. Doesn't help that it's raining, but I can see the track. The trees are definitely more visible. .8 kilometers to Posciavo, 1.9 to the 55 kilometer an hour speed limit. I like the way I get the signal indication on the HUD as well. This is a route I do have with Train Simulator Classic, but it's older units, so you don't get the speed control. Oh, we've got a siding. Don't know what that's for. It's not a station. Posciavo. It's nice that you get it in both German and Italian and British English. Don't know what that was. Funny noise. Well, we can't see Posciavo. It's a little bit foggy. Can turn the wipers off now because it stopped raining, it's just foggy. Starting to slow down a bit. This is the town at the head of the valley. Next signal's red. Which is why I'm getting that yellow flashing. It's really difficult seeing where you're meant to stop when it's foggy. I know that this has a few platforms because it's one of the main stations on the route. Lessen the brakes a little bit. Over the level crossing. I turned my head then, expecting to look what's that? Oh, depot. Okay. Okay. Release brakes. Still going down, but we need to get into the station. I want to stop as close to the stopping point as I can. Like that. And now I do the doors. And I get a photo of... Why are you doing that? What are you doing? I want a photo of it in the murk. Or a screenshot. I call them photos. Got a red signal, we can't go anywhere anyway. Looks quite nice in the fog. And Tirano is our destination. Is there a train coming? Should be. Easy way of finding out. We've got to go all this way. There's the viaduct. And there's Tirano. We are about halfway. Is there a train coming? There's one in the siding. Door's locked. Signal's still red. Proceed as signals indicate, which means something... Ah, it's gone green, that's good. we go. Next stop, Lago Pastiavo. 4.6 kilometers. Level crossing. Another one. A little bit of stuttering. It's not as steep a gradient here. I'll do 50. There's the train that I was expecting to come in. I'm just going to let the train coast. It'll go up to 50 when we hit a gradient. But that's not yet. We've got green signals. Over River Bridge, I think it is. Looks like it. Decide I'm going to have the door open for a bit. Got another 30 limit coming up. Gonna try and make sure I don't speed for the 30. Which is round this bend. I know that a couple of places on this route there's some on-street running. Here's the first bit, which is why we've got the 30km/h speed limit. The next bit isn't until we get down to the bottom. Which we've got quite a bit of journey time before we get to the bottom. Now we're alongside the road. Still reserved track here technically. And we can get up to effectively 50. But with this being Switzerland, cars will be on their right, so nearest to me, facing me. Now we've got a barrier in between us, which is better. There's one of the Is it? No, that's offices. Oh, we need to... brake a bit. While we go over this bit. And we're out of the fog. Okay, go back up to 50. Now I will start using power. No, I won't, because we've got to go down to 40. It's nice that we're in a valley now. Alongside river. And not having to worry about steep gradients or anything like that. Coming up to a 30, so I've got to slow down again. Because we're back on the road. I forgot about this bit of being on the road. Hmm. To 30. I forgot to press the alerter button. Anyway, we've now got a road running bit. Which is worthy of a screenshot. Heading up the right way, this would be facing the same direction as traffic. But as we're going, what's my laptop doing? As we're going down the line, we're actually going against traffic here. I didn't see the buildings. There we go. Go back in the cab view. Past what would be a station if we were stopping. we're not. We're stopping in 400 meters. For Lake Postiavo. And this is the bit where my laptop starts to struggle, because the detail with the towns is a bit more than it is in the mountains. Just come to a nice gentle stop so that the tourists can get a photo. And so I can get a photo of it next to the lake. That looks quite nice. I'll go in a second. Next is Brucio. That looks nice. Release brakes. And away my train goes. Just stick with 30 at the moment. Oh look, it's starting to rain again. We've got 5 kilometres to Brucio viaduct. That's the famous spiral viaduct. I saw the light and I pressed the button just as the alarm came on. Windscreen wiper, because it started raining again. Once we get to the 45 bit, I will increase speed. But only when we get to it. I'll put it up to 40, because that's the next speed limit after that. There we go, up to 40. Don't know if we'll pass any other trains. Not sure. This rain's a bit heavier than I thought it was. The lake's still beautiful though. Typical that there's another 30 km/h section. Which is immediately after the next station. There we go. 30 km an hour instead. I think I might just leave it at that at this rate. Shut the door seeing as it's raining heavily. Want another shot of it along the lake. Just looks interesting for screenshots, that's all. We've still got 3.2 km before Brucio. This signal's green, so no train to pass. And then we're down to 30 again. It's a good job I'm already doing 30, isn't it? More on street running. Just a little bit, but still more on street running. And now we're alongside the river that runs down to Brucio. Next signal is yellow. You can hear the regenerative braking step up as we start going down a steeper gradient. But it's keeping me at a constant speed, which is what matters. Once again alongside the road, till the road drops down. And that's the first car I've seen on the road. Two and a half kilometres to the viaduct, 2.1 kilometres to the station. Even in the rain, this valley is gorgeous. Let's close that window. Leave the other one open. I think I'll have to stop at Brucio station for some reason. Otherwise I wouldn't have a yellow signal. find out shortly. Yellow signals just appearing on the signal diagram. It looks like something's loading in. This feels like you really are in the valley. Which is quite impressive for a simulation. To feel as though you genuinely are within the valley. Right. It's just a yellow signal for the station. Not for stopping. It's interesting. Oh look, a crane. It's a relaxing journey. I might... That was a nice bit of information. We're about to go around the viaduct. Which is down there. In fact, you can just about make it out. There's the yellow. It's nice that you get information about the stations and viaducts and important things on this particular scenario. This is a bit of level track before we hit the viaduct. And now we're nearly there. I will get a screenshot of the train on the viaduct. Which, as the announcer said, it's a circular viaduct, not a spiral. I'll always call it a spiral. A little bit of stuttering because the viaduct's probably got a lot of detail. Down on 1 in 14 now. This is the village of Brucio. There's the viaduct. We stop at the bottom of it. I want a photo of my train on it. With the other line underneath. There we go. .3 kilometers from the end of the line. Well, before the last stop before the end of the line. Funny place to put a stop. And now another screenshot, but this time with the viaduct in the background. You taking your photos? Next, Campo Colorno viaduct. I can't think what Colorno would mean, but Campo is camp. It's viewpoint, not viaduct. I misread it. Right. 2.3 kilometers. Next signal is green. And we're going downhill still. I think the last kilometre or two are virtually level. As we come into the final station. The whistle on this is a bit shrill, shall we say. But I'm blowing it whenever I see a crossing. As long as I see the crossing early enough. Wish it wasn't raining. The views would be even more impressive if it wasn't raining. Another level crossing. Previous one with barriers, the barriers were still up. At least those ones were down. Hotel by the look of it. Another foot crossing. You can see pipes take water from the lakes in the mountains. I think it's meant to protect the towns and villages from flooding. The pipes. Or are they avalanche defense? Not as many on that side. Might be avalanche defense as opposed to flood defense. Right, we're less than a kilometre from the next stop. And then after that, we've got one more viewpoint before we get to Tirana. It looks like it might be stopping raining. No, it's not. It's just getting lighter at the moment. Might do a upward timetable run in clear weather at some point. Okay. Signal is red after this one. That signal is basically where we've got to stop anyway. There's more sidings. Across the road. Come on, let me start applying the brake again. There's an up train in the other line. There's a siding there for probably be wagons. Just creep forward. Oh, that's got 3 normal coaches at the back as well. Just want to get to here. Level crossing gate is down. Next is Basilica Madonna of Tirano. The Basilica Church of Madonna in Tirano. That's the Madonna, not Madonna the singer. 2 kilometres. Yep, we'll have to contact the signaller. To be able to enter Tirano. We're going downhill still. We've got to drop down even slower. This is quite steep for so close to the bottom of the line. Let's go down to 15. Ready for that 15km/h section. Just under 10 miles an hour. Just gives my passengers more chance to have a look at the scenery. And the gorgeous mountains. Once we're past it, we can go back up to 30. After we've seen the Basilica Madonna di Tirano. Second moving car. Nice going slow. Different pace of life. Okay, I've got routes like East Coast Main Line now, which is a high speed line. But going 30 kilometers an hour, even up to 55 kilometers an hour, is relatively slow, and it's relaxing. Yes, it's nice doing the high speed runs, but this is relaxing. Does help that it's in beautiful scenery. I mean, that is absolutely amazing. Seeing the mountains, the valley. Hello. Alongside the road again. Actually technically in the road. Half a kilometre and we have to stop. Going at this speed, I can stop quite quickly. Whistle to the pickup. We're on the edge of Tirano now. Wonder where the basilica actually is. Oop. Old car. Yes, technically on the street sections you'd have the wing mirrors out, but I don't mind. I'm enjoying driving like this. Right. Actually, I might need to be on that side to see, because it's on the left. Ooh, a Mercedes. There's the basilica. Stop. Get a photo of it with the basilica in the background. What was that? It moved. Come on. Get my screenshot. There we go. Now we've got a little bit of distance to go. I'll do that while I release the brakes. It's only a little bit. I'm not going much faster than I am now. This is train only section. Couple of level crossings. Gated level crossing. I have to stop before the signal, contact the signaller. And then we've got the last bit into Tirano station. Okay. Contact signaller. Denied. Wait for signal to change. I'll give it a few seconds and then I'll try again. That's a different view. Proceed at restricted speed. Which is basically 15 kilometers an hour. Ungated crossing. Also unsighted on the one side. There we go, 15 kilometers an hour. Over the river, I believe it is. Where is it? No, it's just a bit of green stuff. Another crossing. Also ungated. It's just light controlled. Normally this would be a 30 kilometer an hour section. But I'm going a lot slower. .10 kilometers an hour now. And we are this is Tirano. Final station on the line. Looks like we're going into last platform. One of the bay platforms. There is through platforms for services elsewhere in, I think this area is Italy. It's okay, it wanted me to press the button there. Oh well. I didn't realise that it hadn't cleared that. And stop. Do passengers. Reverse to neutral. Pantographs down. No, not a rear mirror. Tail lights red. Headlights off. Train brake on. Parking brake on. And then release. Have that at full service. Off. Lock doors. Throttle brake lever to 0. Master key out. Thank you for completing this run. Let's see how you performed. I don't know why I'm so high up. Right, let me get out. I was going to jump out. Oh well. Let's see how well I did, shall we? Not my fault for that speeding, it was doing it itself. Still got a decent medal. Little bit out on the stopping, but I still got decent, so yeah, that was good. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Bit of a change from Thomas. Normal service should resume next week. And there will be a, hopefully, fairly long video from my visit to the Railway 200 event, Derby Works, the greatest gathering. All depends on weather and how easy it is for me to do some filming. Anyway, if you've reached this point in the video, thank you. Thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell icon, getting notified when I upload. And until the next video on Monday, which will probably be a train sim video because it'll take me a long time to edit the one for the Greatest Gathering, which will probably be Wednesdays. But until then, be seeing you.